Hi, I'm Ken. I want to welcome you to this special program today. We're going to try something a little different, and we are going to make an attempt to paint the Radiant VII out of this Counselor class ship from the Republic starter set. So let's take a look at all our process and how we're going to do this particular miniature. And once again, we're going to display all the colors, starting from my whites, going all the way around the palette, right at the bottom of your screen, so you can paint along with me. So here's our C70 model. Take a good look at that. This is how it comes in the box. I've got another one I've already done. I'm going to show this to you. I like how it turned out. We're going to do something similar to that, but not quite the same. Some of the details we're going to leave out. Now this mini's not primed. We're going to paint right over the existing paint job. I'm going to start out with my red. We're going to get right in the corner here, work our way forward. And we don't need to be too neat. We can always go over it later if we need to. Remember, there are no such things as a mistake, only happy accidents. Just getting all those nooks and crannies. I'm trying to bring this a little closer to you. Now we're going to start the body of the starship, moving further up. Get these little sides right there. Almost looks like professionals have painted this spaceship. Now here I'm drawing a line. I want to leave one space open. The original tan colored paint. And you'll see how I do that in just a minute. Now let's try getting the other side. Same basic procedure, a little bit of paint, draw our line, try to match the opposite side. Just take your time, nice and slow, kind of like I'm doing here. Let's get this back end. The red paint I'm using today, it's not an exact match of the paint that's on the miniature, but I wanted something that was going to make it pop just a little bit more. We're going to avoid the gun turret. We are going to get the part right underneath it. I am liking the way this is turning out. That'll show up on the table a little different. It'll dry a little darker also. Now, earlier, I said I was going to leave a space. Just move a little bit over with our brush. Come straight down, fill in these panels. And get the edge here. Now when you look, I like this little design they have here. Little republic symbol. We're going to leave that. So let's just paint around it. If you wanted to, you can paint right over it. Whatever you want to do, it's your miniature, it's your world. Maybe you prefer a different symbol, and that's okay. There is no right way to paint this. I'm just showing you one way that you can do this. You can see how I'm just hitting the panels here, the easy parts, using the mold lines, panel lines as a guide. Here's the other side. Try to match it as best we can. That's pretty good, I think. Get around the gun turret. And we're just going to go right over the top. Blend the color just a little bit with what we have. And the sides of this back part of the front. Now with the front of the barrel, we're going to do a little fun design. We're going to angle a line, matching it off the top part of the bridge tower here. Just about a 45-degree angle, and fill in the rest. Then we're going to use the panels here again. Start like that. Bring it down to the next panel, fill that in, and then follow the panels in the front, leaving a little extra space. And that gives us kind of a fun looking design. At least I think it does. Let's fill this in while we're at it. I think that looks a little bit better. But you can paint it however you want. Maybe you want to make the whole thing red. Again, just following the panel lines. Do the underside. Take this off for a second. Be a little easier. With this little part here, we're just going to paint right over. Start from the front, work our way down. Nice and easy. Now we can't just paint one side, we got to paint both. Try and match it as best we can. Like the stripe to have a friend on the other side too. We'll follow the same basic design going all the way back. Just connect it right here, like so. That doesn't look too bad, does it? Let's get that same little top angle piece, fill it in back here. That's pretty good, I think. Already the ship looks different than what it originally looked like. Fill this part in on just the sides. Leave a little bit of the tan undercoat right in the middle. You see what I did there? And these are all design choices you can make. As I'm looking at this, I think I'm going to fill in the sides right here. Missed a little spot. Touch that up. There we go. Do the same thing on this part. Now we've got the engine modules here. Let's do something to match. I think we're going to fill in these panels in the middle. I'm just going to use the panels as a guideline. So loaded up our brush again. Just nice and easy. Just guide that paint on there. Just like that. Do you see how simple this is? Let's get that little end there. Look on the other side. Fill in these same panels on the other side of the engine. And we've still been using the same red color. No changes yet. Just take your time. Let's get this last one. Missed one over here. Let's go get that too. It doesn't take much to fill in these spots. Just a little bit of paint. I think maybe I want to add something here. This little triangle piece. Let's fill that in. Something that'll be visually interesting. Go right down to that red line. Let's fill that in. Perfect example where I started one thing. Since I filled in a little bit more than I wanted, let's just cover that up. You know what? I think I even like that better. Keep going right along the edge. Perfect example. Happy little accent. Adds a little bit more to this miniature. Now I think I want to fill in these panel lines on the edge. Just staying right here on the top of the panel. Pretty easy, pretty quick, simple. And I think we're going to do the edge too. Let's do the edge too. Just fill that in right up on the top. Let's not forget about the other side. That's pretty good. We'll get the underside here in a minute. Kind of like the way that looks. Let's take a look at this underside. Let's go ahead and wash our brush though. Clean up all the excess paint first. Beat the devil out of our brush. Now I'm looking at the underside here. We're just going to do a little bit again, filling out the edges. Just this little panel here. Clean brush. think what I'm going to do is these other little edges. So we've washed our brush, loaded her back up with some paint. Let's go right around, filling in these gaps. Now I know what you're thinking. Ken, when are we ever going to look at the bottom of the ship? And you never know. But sometimes, depending on the angle you look at, you might just catch it. So a little bit of detail here goes a long way. And it doesn't take too long to do. Forgot these undersides of the engine. Same thing. You look at it from the side, we'll see it. Let's fill these in. Just like that. And you could decide to do this or not. Do as much as you want, as little as you want. I'm going to do this middle section here. Just add a little bit more interest in color. Raised areas. So the next time you're playing with this ship and someone has to do a line of sight measurement, they can see these beautiful lines on your spacecraft. One of the reasons I enjoy painting some of my ships allows me, when I put a title on one of them, I can tell it apart real easily. Let's see if we just straighten this up a little bit while I'm thinking about it. So that paint's already getting darker. And because I've already pushed the paint to the edge of the engines here, we're going to do it on some of the other ones here as well. Have them all match. Just like that. And I should note, these are very simple, light brush strokes that I'm using. We're now switching to gray. I'm going to base coat every single one of these gun cannons with a gray. It'll help define them as a different part of the miniature. And when we get that silver on top, they will shine just a little bit more. We have the two here on either side. Pretty happy with that. Let's get the one in the rear. Now there are two guns in the rear here. Let's not forget those on the underside. Make sure you have enough paint on your brush. And of course, always important to clean it when you switch paints or use a different brush. The most important thing, always thin your paints down. I don't know if that's a gun or not on the front. But let's just put some paint on it anyways. Let's pretend that it is. On our spaceship today, this is a gun turret. And let's get the little sensor dish too. We're going to move to a silver. Now let's get this right on top. Quick little short strokes, just getting the top of it. When the light hits it, it'll shine that much more. We'll get all 6 guns that we painted already. Take the stand off, make it easier for me to hold, and get these bottom sides. You'll note I switched my brush. No reason, just wanted to use a different one. There's that sensor dish, got to get that also. And you know what? I'm going to hit these 4 little round things also. Let's just give them a little dab of silver on each one. There we go. I think that looks really nice. Take a quick look, make sure there's nothing I'm missing or that I want to do more. No, I'm pretty happy with that. Now I'll let you take a good look at it. Alright, I think we're going to call this one just about done. So from all of us here, I just want to wish you all happy painting, all the best. Hope you had fun. Bye-bye.